Hi, today we're going to cover the caching and browser compatibility features of the CloudCaster Lite 3D viewer. The first and most important thing to know is that the first time you visit a published CloudCaster Lite project, you are likely to be prompted to allow the application to access and store data on your local hard drive. This is important for two main reasons. If you allow this action, the data will stream from the server, the CD, DVD, or other removable media, and it will store to your flash player cache. The next time you visit this same point cloud, the application checks the server, removable media, or published location and compares the model to the one that resides in your local cache. If the one in the cache is the later model or the most recent data, it will load directly from your hard drive. This prevents the need for additional bandwidth and also provides a much faster experience as the data does not have to download over the internet or network. The second major advantage of clicking allow is that the flash player cache is shared across all browsers. Most content on the web is cached within each browser's own specific cache. The data is not shared from one application to the next. But in the case of Flash applications, in fact, the cache is common across all browsers. So caching it in Firefox means that if you would like to go back and view the project in Safari, Opera, Chrome, or Internet Explorer, it will actually load directly from your hard drive. So if you trust the publisher or the published location of the project, you should click allow. Now we're going to go ahead and stream a point cloud from our high-speed Amazon servers. And in this case, the point cloud is not yet in our local cache. So it'll take a few moments for the download. So now you'll see we've streamed about 19.5 megabytes into the browser, and we allowed it to store on the local hard drive in the flash cache. And we'll now visit a model that's already within the cache, so it will load much faster. It takes just a moment while the application checks and compares the data on the server to the cache, but you'll see it found the point cloud in the cache was the most recent, and it loaded from there. It only took a few moments. Now we will go back and visit the model we initially downloaded from the server, and you'll see it loaded almost instantly this time, and you can expect that from this point forward, unless you clear your cache, this model and all models in your cache will load much faster. We're now briefly going to go through looking at the application in a variety of browsers. So here we have the same model loaded in all four of the biggest browsers, or most major browsers rather. And this is actually the exact same data loaded off the same cache in the same location on your operating system. And at the same time, each instance of the CloudCaster viewer is spawned as a separate application with its own RAM and other resources. So there are instances or cases where it might be useful to look at the same model in a multitude of views at the same time. And this is a trick we actually do to sort of emulate other 3D applications. In my case, I have dual monitors, and I typically spread these browser windows across two or more screens. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to have to suffice, or these small window sizes will need to suffice. And so you can see, once again, we have the same model loaded from the cache in all four browsers. One more brief example. And you can measure, save views, or perform any CloudCaster Lite functions completely independent from one another within each browser window. The last thing we're going to cover today is sending links to specific models in any CloudCaster project that's been published. And that is a very simple process. Let's say we want to send a user, or in this case, there are quite a few models published to the same CloudCaster project. But let's say we want to send a user directly to the Bishop's Palace model. After our URL, we're going to type $autoload, and then the exact name of the model as it appears in the CloudCaster dropdown at the top right. Now we'll copy this. And you'll see that now we've not only sent the user to the CloudCaster Lite project, but we have automatically loaded a specific model. In the future, additional arguments will be allowed in the URL that will provide settings for camera angles, user interface, customizations, and quite a variety of other included features. And this way you can send your users with from a simple web link a very specific view of your 3D point cloud. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a shout. Our email is support@onlineinteractivesoftware.com.